Welcome to my trying to conceive journey where a woman creeping towards her 40s is trying to have a baby via IUI. Surprise, surprise. Here I am at the doctor's office just letting my husband's swimmers marinate. At this point, the procedure has happened and I'm just chilling. After the procedure, I sat there for a good 15 minutes to let things take place. There goes my homegirl Wanda. My doctor decided that we would do 2 IUI cycles within the same cycle, if that makes sense. We went and got food after the procedure, and the night after my first IUI, within the same cycle, my husband had to give me our trigger shot. I just wanna love you, baby.
Not really.
Can you take control of me?
3, 2.
Should I numb?
That might help if you want.
So after my trigger shot, we had another round of IUI within, again, the same cycle. And we're hoping that this double whammy in one shot will do the trick. So we just had our second IUI within the same cycle. I think things went well. I had my appointment early this morning at 9 a.m. And yeah, I was inseminated, if you will. After they inseminated my husband's swimmers into me, I sat in a room laying down for about 15 minutes. The first day that I had the IUI, I did the same thing. After they inserted the swimmers into me, I just hung out, chilled, prayed, said a couple of prayers while waiting on the table. They didn't tell me to sit for 15 minutes. I just chose to sit for 15 minutes. I imagine if you want, you could sit for longer, but I just chose 15. And right now, my hubby and I just got some lunch, something warm to put on my stomach because I didn't eat breakfast. And I think we're about to actually head out to get some insomnia cookies. I know it's not a good idea to have sugar after things like this because we're trying to be healthy, blah, blah, blah. But listen, there's no other insomnia cookies near us. It's only in Manhattan, so we're just going to indulge. Where? Oh my gosh. What in the what? Wow. The dreaded 2-week wait left me in a whirlwind of emotions. I did all the things. I got the sunlight. I rested. I ate the pineapple core. I drank the beet juice. I pleaded to God. But this wasn't about anything that I could do. Ultimately, it was up to God and His plan for my life. I kept my mind busy, but trying to conceive will never truly leave your mind when you're in the thick of it. I was hopeful though, that mustard seed of faith. I definitely had it. I definitely saw things working out this time, but I waited. Y'all, I did not mean to abandon you. I didn't forget about you. But life's been lifing, as the young people say. I am currently 7 days post-ovulation, or 7 days post-trigger shot, I want to say. And I am so tempted to get a pregnancy test, but I know it's still super early to receive any positive or negative on a pregnancy test. So I'm just waiting. It's the waiting game right now. I've been just trying to keep busy, trying to get healthy, trying to stay hydrated, being mindful to drink warm things, eat warm things, taking soup to lunch a couple of times this week, all in the hopes of keeping my uterus nice, warm, and inviting for a potential fertilized egg to implant. As far as any symptoms or things of that sort that would let me know or alert me to the fact that I'm pregnant, Not much. I've been tired, but I'm always tired. So I've learned my lesson with taking tired as a symptom of being pregnant. I'm just a tired person. I had a couple of instances this week where I woke up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom. That was kind of like a bell ringer, but at the same time, I have been intaking more water than usual. And maybe I'm just not learning or understanding what my cutoff point should be if I'm going to bed at night and I don't want to wake up in the middle of the night to have to use the bathroom. I don't know if it's the water intake that has been increased or if it's actual like pregnancy, peeing more because the blood is increasing. I don't know. Those are the only two symptoms I really had, if I could call anything, is the fatigue and the using the bathroom in the middle of the night. Again, I did up my water, so I'm not like fully invested in that being a for sure sign of anything. In doing my research online, I learned that even though I'm 6 days post trigger shot, or even though I'm 7 days post trigger shot or 7 days post ovulation, apparently the fertilized egg doesn't implant until about 6 days 6 days post ovulation or 6 days post transfer. So I'm just now, if I am pregnant, it would be today. It would be the first day that I'm pregnant. So yeah, we'll just wait and see. I have my follow-up appointment, my blood test, on Monday. Today is Friday, so I just have to sit on pins and needles for a couple more days to get a blood test to see if this first round of IUI worked. Well, this first round since my fibroid surgery, if it worked, and if it was worth it. So I'm hopeful. I'm still very hopeful, still keeping the faith. God is in control, and whatever the outcome is, we roll with it. We roll with it and we keep it moving. And and this is something that I'll continue to fight for it, until the doctor tells me, hey, you're menopausal and that cutoff time is here. I'll continue to fight for it because it's something that has been placed in my heart. Initially, I never wanted kids. I used to always joke and say, like, I don't want a kid, it's gonna ruin my body. And I used to say that just to be funny, not knowing that I was speaking things into existence. Silly me. So I feel like I kind of talked myself out of having kids, but I'm realizing the error of my ways. And initially I didn't want kids, because very shallow, very young, didn't want it to mess with my body and stuff like that. But I've come to see that was an awful way of thinking. A baby or a child is a blessing that not all are granted, and I didn't know that at the time growing up. And I always said, like, no, I'm not having kids, but I would love to adopt. And even in saying that back then, it was like a stretch, which I now know, because adoption is not simple. Adoption, you have to go through so many loopholes and jump through so many hoops and things. And yeah, adoption, even if I wanted to do that for a child, I can't do it. I'm about to go home, chill, relax, and again, continue to wait on pins and needles for Monday. I'll probably check in with you guys some other time for the weekend to see if we can find any other symptoms of pregnancy. And yeah, bye.